You know, I've been in love with the San Francisco Bay Area since I arrived here for the first time about 19 years ago. And of course, I live 30 minutes north of San Francisco proper now, but any excuse I have to get into the city, I'll take it. When I first got to the city, I had a sort of a little welcoming experience that the city provided me. And what happened was I'd probably been in town about, couldn't have been more than 2 weeks, maybe a week even. And over the weekend, I remember I went into the city's fabulous Golden Gate Park just to explore that park. It's so magnificent. And I spent the day walking all over that park. And as I was walking down one sidewalk, I came upon this guy, a very striking guy. He was East Indian, and he was wearing a white turban and kind of a long white tunic thing and some baggy pants. And he had a white beard, you know, and he was just walking along down the street, or excuse me, along that sidewalk I was walking on. And we smile at each other, we pass by, we keep going. And I remember I was just thinking like, wow, that was an interesting guy. And I go about 10 paces and I decide to stop, and I turn around to take a look at the guy again. And it just so happens that he had gone the same distance, like 10 more paces, and stopped, and he turned around, and we caught each other looking at each other again. And I got a little freaked out, you know. I turn around, I keep walking. I went about 50 more yards, and I decided to turn around. And lo and behold, he had gone 50 yards further and turned around just then. Now we're looking at each other again. Now I'm a little freaked out. So I turn around and I keep going, right? And so I go on, enjoy my day in the park. I go way, I mean, this park is like, what is it, like 3 miles long, you know? I walk way to the west end of the park near the ocean. And I come into this clearing. I've been going through this thicket of trees, and I come into this open, grassy clearing. And it's probably about 20 yards across, and right on the other end of the clearing, coming out of the trees, was this guy. And I'm completely shocked. Like, what the heck is going on? Is this guy real? You know, is he a ghost? Is he like a guru or something that is gonna, like, he's my spiritual advisor for San Francisco? You know, this bearded East Indian guy shows up. He's gonna bestow some spiritual insight on me. You know, but I'm too freaked out to find out. You know, I'm just like, I cut diagonal. I get out of the clearing. And as I'm going, all of a sudden I can hear that he's following behind me. And now I'm getting a little freaked out. I'm walking. I'm in a more of a wooded area on this natural path. It wasn't a sidewalk. And I can hear that he's like behind me, 20, 30 paces behind me. And so now I'm totally freaked out. So I come upon these really thick bushes, and I just cut into the bushes. They were thick, but if you went low, you could kind of scooch like a tunnel in between all these low branches and stuff. So I'm like down low, and I'm hustling. I'm like, I gotta get away from this spooky guy. And I'm like down, scrunched down. I'm going as fast as I can, and I go a little ways, and I come into a more open area. The canopy of the bushes still is over my head, but now I can stand up. It had kind of opened up, and it opened up into this clearing that was kind of room sized. And I'll be darned if when I go into this clearing, there are 6 guys in there already. And I think the way I'll put it is they were paired off. And each pair had one guy standing and one guy kneeling. I think that's about as explicit as I'm going to get. and I come upon this scene. And I think I remember saying, "Excuse me, gentlemen," and I just made a beeline, cutting across the little clearing there, and I think I lost my pursuer, who, in fact, I forgot to mention, when I ducked into the bushes to begin with, I heard him following me into the bushes, and that's really when I got freaked out. And, well, so I thought, until I come into this clearing and see what I see, and now I'm doubly freaked out. Well, I managed to evade my pursuer, and the next night, through a friend of a friend, I was at this party with a longtime San Francisco resident, and I told him this story, and he said, "Oh man," he goes, "out on the west end of Golden Gate Park?" I said, "Yeah." He said, "Well, do you realize that there's this one zone uh, that's kind of understood, that it's for gentlemen who are looking for this kind of entertainment with anonymous others, and what you do is you to signal to one of these other people that you're interested in a hookup, you walk down this one path, and when the time is right, you cut into these bushes, and they are supposed to follow you." So, unbeknownst to me, I happened to run the exact program to make that happen, except I didn't know I was doing anything. And that was my welcome to San Francisco experience. That's when I knew I wasn't in Kansas anymore. All right. Well, this is Depot Dad with another story, and I'll pull a few more out of my hat. So check again soon. Talk to you later.